Hey everybody, so let's have a conversation really quickly for some clarity around DEI, okay? I'm going to tell you off the bat in this video that Black people talking about boycotting places, y'all are ridiculous. Stick with me for a moment because I'm going to explain to you why. But first and foremost, let's just play a clip of what happened when it came to Trump signing this order in DEI.
Also tonight, the Trump administration calls it common sense. Critics call it an all-out assault on diversity. The president has ordered all federal employees working in diversity, equity, and inclusion roles to be placed on paid leave starting today. This is the beginning of President Trump's promise to roll back DEI initiatives. Here's NBC's Marianne Favreau.
President Trump continuing a record-setting flurry of executive actions with a new series of orders that aim to end all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, programs. President Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, telling NBC News in a statement, quote, President Trump campaigned on a merit-based society where people are hired based on their skills, not for the color of their skin. For decades, the Urban League has been working to improve the economic and social conditions of Black Americans. Tonight, that agency's leaders are calling the president's executive order a step backward.
What they really seek to do is erase 70 years of civil rights progress that we've had in this nation.
Now, after this took place, we saw a lot of places that started to, go along with this and remove their DEI hires and remove that practice from their company. And then we have Al Sharpton, who came forward and did this.
Well, Reverend Al Sharpton taking a stand against President Trump's moves to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at companies around the country. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino is live in East Harlem with more on how a day of shopping took on a more profound meaning. Hi, Duarte.
Hey there, Arthur. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you. This is what he did today. He bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco and let them shop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
Now, Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same. President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
For 90 days, we're going to research the company that we find that has made the most affront. We will call a boycott. But today, we are calling a buy-in.
So after that was done, I want to explain to you, and we'll look at a couple of more clips, but before I actually go into my details, I would like to play a clip for you of a woman on social media who did a really great job of explaining DEI, who these orders actually affect, and where we stand in the, the level of how it will affect us. So I'm going to let her tell you, and then we'll come back and talk a little more.
Real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. and others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number one recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number two are Asian Americans. Number three are Native Americans. Number four, individuals with disability. Number five, veterans. Okay? And number six, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative programs.
Now, with that said, if you guys have been watching my videos, we have had plenty of conversations about civil rights and about MLK. I want to point out once again something y'all hear me say a lot. We as Black people are always out here fighting and think that we're doing ourselves a justice, right? When it comes to civil rights, I want you to know that every other group of people actually are benefiting from the fight that you are putting up, right? So you fought for all those civil rights. You watch these immigrants come into this country, and I will tell you right now, baby, these immigrants have received more civil rights, right to education, right to housing, and so on, before you ever do. Okay, so we got to be careful with this because you out here talking about you're going to boycott all of these businesses because of DEI, but you're actually once again based in civil rights because you see how the nigga brought up civil rights movement when they started talking in the first clip about DEI. Here come all the Black leaders, and now all of a sudden you guys are going to start protesting and fighting for what? For the outcome that if your protesting changed anything, it would not benefit you. It would benefit white women. Are they not the biggest receiver of DEI? Then it's going to benefit the LGBTQ community before it benefits you. It's going to benefit the Hispanics and the Asians before it ever benefits you. And we have this imaginary idea as Black people that when these things get passed and these laws come about, somehow that we're really the beneficiaries of them. See, this is why I talk a lot about not allowing yourself to be called people of color or minority. Because people of color, then they take this, they'll give you statistics and say, oh, people of color are doing better, and they will attach it to you. Oh, this law is for people of color, and they attach it to you. When the truth is that people of color are anybody who's not white. And it usually is benefiting them more than it ever benefits you, but they will make your ass the face of it. Just like with DEI, here y'all go getting mad. They got the Black leaders up there. Where the fuck is the leaders for the white ladies? Where they at? Because this is affecting them the most. But no, here y'all out here fighting. Get yourself out of the category. Stop claiming to be a minority because there's a lot of minorities, baby. Do you know how many groups fit in that minority? But they will show Black people when they talk about the group, but yet and still you're not the one benefiting from the stuff that they've had. So you talk about this law of DEI, how it's included people. It never benefited your Black ass any damn way. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? So now I would like to address one more thing. It really offends me. It offends me greatly that Black people are out here talking about we gonna boycott. You want to know why? Because boycotting is a very powerful thing. Your dollar is your power in this country. This is why I have made the argument about the civil rights movement and how it destroyed us. Because Black people, before the civil rights movement, owned so many things. We had our own communities. We had our own schools. We had our own buses. We had our own movie theaters, on and on and on and on. Cleaners, businesses. This was all across the United States. We owned a lot of our shit, which gave us power In 1954, we had a net worth of spending of $2 billion. But if everything that we were being provided was made by Black companies and Black people, who do you think that $2 billion was being given to? But now we cry about how our dollar does not stay in our communities less than a couple of hours. You can thank the civil rights movement for that. But y'all constantly fight for something talking about a civil rights. You are so confused in thinking that civil rights has ever benefited you or been for you. You know, you fighting for the civil rights movement is the very reason why immigrants can come here the way that they do. You know, that's part of civil rights and human rights. Y'all help to fight for it, but you don't benefit from it at all. What's crazy to me is knowing that your power is in your dollar. You gonna boycott now? Now? Where the fuck was all of this energy when you're upset about unjust deaths to our people? You didn't want to do this when what happened to Tamir Rice happened to Tamir Rice? Huh? You didn't want to boycott nothing. You don't want to boycott no holidays. You don't want to skip out on Thanksgiving or nothing else. Whenever we get disrespected or we get treated wrong and you keep talking about you want change, fuck them goddamn picket signs and go into the street to march. Why don't you just boycott? You can do it now when it's actually benefiting. If you were to make any progress, you're really out here fighting for white women. That's what you're really doing. You're fighting for white women. That's what you're doing. But you won't get up and use this power, this boycott, and this ability to change Black people's lives. You complain about school, and we complain about our communities. We complain about prisons. We complain about unjust systems. We complain about how we are treated left and right. But you won't boycott for that? You know, stuff that directly actually affects the Black community. You won't get up and boycott that. But because media and fake Black leaders that know damn well what they doing done got on the podium and told you this affects you. Trump is evil. He's racist. And look what he's doing to you. He's taking away your civil rights and everything that you fought for. Don't benefit you. Like, I want you to think about the amazing level of the matrix that your ass is wrapped up in when you are being tricked into fighting with the ultimate power that we hold through boycotting to actually benefit white women, Asians, Hispanics, LGBTQ. That's some real condition, just mixed up. Your ass is blind as hell. The Matrix got your ass good. You out here fighting with the most powerful piece of weapon of fighting that you have, your dollar. And you're using it for people that ain't you. That's crazy. But I'm going to end this video with letting you listen to Tabitha Brown. Because not only are you fighting for white women and all of these other inclusion groups, what you're also doing is tearing down Black companies and things at the same time. Tabitha Brown is going to tell you how many Black people, they are in Target. You don't know that? There's a lot of Black entrepreneurs that have their products in Target. And in all of these places, they've been given the opportunity to have mass distribution. It is taking their products and their business to the next level because they are able to be in those spaces and make that kind of money for everybody around the country to buy their products. And so you are going to boycott. Not only are you going to boycott and fight for white women to get them some progress, like that's what they need. You're also going to be destroying Black companies at the same time that use these businesses to get their products on a much larger level. Sounds just like the civil rights movement to me. You're out here fighting, claiming you need some type of a right that is actually not an issue for you, while gaining that success for everybody else. And you are simultaneously destroying Black businesses. Is that really what you want to do? You should overthink this shit. So I'm going to play this clip from Tabitha. You watch it, and I'll see your ass on the next live or the next video.
Businesses, Black-owned businesses, is for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen and approved for retail. Because contrary to whatever the world might tell you it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right? However, I am in business in multiple ways with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is, if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected, and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt.